Here's why I will never get married as a man. Growing up, you're always taught that relationships eventually lead to a point of a union, of a marriage where you sign a government contract binding you two together. But the issue with marriages is the fact that nearly 50% of them end in divorce. Alongside with that, women and people really don't even know what a marriage means. Most women just want the validation of being called a wife, the ring, and of course, the wedding. In order to have a long-term relationship, you really don't have to get the government involved. You can do everything that a marriage actually entails without signing a government contract. That includes getting the ring, having a wedding, maybe even doing a honeymoon, changing her last name, having kids together, living together. You can all do this while being married without being technically married through a contract. Now, if you are gonna get married, at least to some degree protect yourself as a man. This includes getting a prenup before you decide to sign the papers. Otherwise, you're just gonna end up being another statistic and then complaining about how all women are the same.
Mark this down, men. Avoid involving the courts if you can. Marriage often just turns into handing over your power, control, and money to your wife. RIP to the husbands getting wrecked by ruthless divorce judges who show no mercy.
Here's the problem with modern marriage from a man's perspective. Most of the marriages I know, okay, the man provides financially, he protects, taking care of kids, doing the things that he can do. What does the woman bring? She brings love, affection, a little bit of sweetness at the end of the day, you know, sex. If you get divorced, every single thing on that side of the man equation, he can be compelled to do by the power of the state, and if he fails to do it, they can put him in jail. Nothing on that other side, the female side, is enforceable at law.
This is what you get when marriage turns into a cold contract instead of a true partnership.
Name one benefit that a man gets from a marriage that he wouldn't get in a regular relationship.
Just one.
I think a lot of men who choose to get married are incentivized by the fact that they are able to claim that woman as theirs. And
No, but name one benefit that they would get in a marriage that they wouldn't get in a regular relationship.
Well, I think even though it's not 100%, there's peace of mind that that woman is going to be loyal to you.
The answer is there's none. You're dancing around it. There is none. So my thing is this. I think it's in a man's best interest to stay Peter Pan, as you would say. And I think women shame men because men gain their value in their 40s. Men understand the sexual marketplace better. They understand that women have no leverage in their 40s. And they date down and they get younger, more attractive girls. And that's the best way to go in today's day and age, where we live in a deregulated sexual marketplace where women could take everything they got, take their kids, etc. Why the hell would a guy want to commit to women nowadays when, honestly, we got wholeflation?
I think it's also setting a good example to children that you have a family nucleus, and I think there's something to be said about that.
Well, you can do that without the state getting involved in getting married.
You know what?
The risk blows the reward out of the water. Every man knows marriage doesn't guarantee a woman's loyalty. There's no peace of mind. She can drop the divorce bomb any time and walk away with the house, money, and more. Men live on edge, always watching for the next betrayal.
There are going to be people online that say you didn't get married because he wanted you to sign a prenup.
Correct.
So why did you not just sign the prenup?
In that moment, it was, I'd rather walk away from something knowing that I chose myself than to spend the rest of my life not being loved the way that I love somebody.
Translation, I want to take his money and virtue signal while I do it.
Somebody.
Yep.
I chose myself is just a cover story. She came empty-handed, with zero plans to invest in the marriage. He knew his value and called her bluff. She's playing victim like she walked away on her own terms. But really, he chose himself and let her go. That "in that moment" excuse screams impulsive feminist nonsense getting called out, plain and simple.
When a man wants to get married, he's only getting married truly for one reason. Because let me be honest with you women, the men can work and provide for themselves. He doesn't need your salary like that. He does not necessarily need you to cook, clean, and have sex, because he can get sex from multiple women. They're giving it out. A lot of them can cook and clean. Their mother taught them, or they can pay someone to get it. The culture is telling them these women do not get married. So why would a man go past what the culture is telling him and choose to have a wife? Because with a wife, you you can now have love, nurturing, support, affection. This is what he can't get from a roommate. So if that is not what you're leading with in your relationships with men, this is why your husband is now pulling away, because in the beginning you gave him those things. But as you got into the relationship, you got bitter, resentful. You start seeing his flaws, start counting that against him. You start measuring him against other men, and now you're pulling back on the love, the affection, and the nurturing.
Straight up, men don't tie the knot for bills and baggage. They want love, peace, and loyalty. But nowadays, women bring none of that real deal. It's all about what he's shelling out. Fancy dinners, designer bags, and a flashy lifestyle. No care, no heart, just sucking the life and cash out of him. Marriage used to be a team effort. Now it's a rigged game. Men pay and stay silent, getting zilch in return.
If we look at the studies, actually, we show just the opposite. The most recent, and probably which is the new Pew Research poll that came out here a few months ago this summer. It shows basically 63% of men of varying age are single, are not in a relationship of any kind, not looking to be a relationship at all. And what's worse is it shows 57% of men have absolutely no desire to even enter into any kind of a committed relationship with a woman, let alone get married. So what's changed recently over the last 10 years? Has it become that what men want from a woman, what men want from relationships, has all of a sudden changed to a point where they can no longer find it? Or is it that these modern feminists have taught women to no longer be what men want in a relationship, to no longer be that soft, caring, feminine, compassionate soul that a man's looking for to commit to give himself to, and to cherish for the rest of his life?
Divorce hits 50% of marriages, and women start 80% of those splits. Then comes child support, alimony, losing half your stuff, the house. Marriage isn't worth that nightmare. Young men watch their dads get ripped apart and say, no thanks, choosing to fly solo instead. Honestly, just give up. These women don't care about your voice or your effort.
Does that make sense for you as far as like why divorce is inherently more risky for men?
I just feel like you're saying because women tend to be the person who initiates a divorce, correct?
Yes.
That's why it's riskier for men. But why do women tend to end divorces? With successful men that have money, they cheat.
She said it earlier.
They do all these things that women don't want to
She
put up
said it earlier.
with.
It's
So
a feeling.
why?
Feelings change from day to day.
Yeah,
time
so
to
I
time.
could have been in love with the person at the moment, but if that person is no longer treating me well just because we're married, I have to say no.
That's the point.
Because he can't be a good husband.
So as a man,
that's all I'm asking.
If I marry you and you decide, you know what, he's not the guy I thought he was anymore, I'm leaving. You take half my stuff, and maybe.
So is there no risk without reward?
So what?
You married me, right?
No. So once again, this is why
you
men
wanted to marry me.
don't want to get married.
Thought you loved me enough that it would be worth it to you to marry me and take the risk.
Hold on, stop the show. You just basically admitted it with your own words. Why guys don't get married?
Exposing how marriage screws men over, divorce courts, alimony traps, lost kids, zero rewards. Women hate it because the game's rigged in their favor, and now men are walking away. No more simping, no more blind loyalty. The truth hurts, and it's making women panic as their free ride gets exposed.
Here's the problem with modern marriage from a man's perspective. Most of the marriages I know, okay, the man provides financially, he protects, taking care of kids, doing the things that he can do. What does the woman bring? She brings love, affection, a little bit of sweetness at the end of the day, sex. If you get divorced, every single thing on that side of the man equation, he can be compelled to do by the power of the state, and if he fails to do it, they can put him in jail. Nothing on that other side, the female side, is enforceable at law.
This happens when people start seeing marriage as a contract and not a partnership.
Why would I get married? Why? Yeah. There's no actual reason to get married. It can complicate things. I have some friends that just have a woman they love and they had kids and they just didn't get married. I find them happier than those that get married.
There's something about it. I don't know what it is, but I feel like once you put the marriage title on it, there's just this added pressure that like the relationship doesn't need.
Did you hear about this new food that like completely destroys sex-driven women?
No.
Wedding cake.
Marriage these days is straight up bizarre. You sign a lifelong contract with someone, only to risk getting haunted by them and losing half your cash if it ends. It's turned into a trap where even the tiniest issue sparks divorce, adding court fees on top of the wedding bill. In truth, it's just a tax gimmick and a trophy for her ego. And if you skip the ring, oh, they'll shame you like it's the end of the world.
But my wife, after 5 years of marriage, has decided, unbeknownst to me, to become officially a nun.
What?
She has become a nun. This, my friends, is what a modern day nun looks like.
This is what a nun... Michael, how am I a
Look
nun?
at her.
What?
Look at this modern day nun.
How am I a nun?
How are you a nun?
Is it because of my pants?
No, no. None today. None tonight. None last week. None tomorrow, I guarantee that. None in the morning. Those were fun times. None next month.
The reality is that this is an issue that men face all too often. Many men have gone from absolutely satisfying premarital relationships to all of a sudden the disappearance of intimacy following marriage. When this happens, men feel like you just did a switcheroo as soon as you got what you wanted and he couldn't take it back as easily. But what's interesting is that women never see it this way. They always blame the man for why they don't really want intimacy anymore. And the truth is that it's more complicated than that. It can absolutely be at play, but when this issue comes about, he wants to have a discussion about it. Because men want to fix the issue, he wants to hear what he could do better in order to resolve this. But the problem is, and what's so frustrating for men, is that he could do all of that and then it still doesn't change. That is when he's going to see it as a you problem, and women get so triggered by that. They typically fall deeper into the hole of not wanting it, which is the opposite of what that man wants to create. But what else is he going to do? Well, I'll tell you, he's also going to play it up like this, like it's just something that happens in all marriages, and he's going to joke about it and pretend like it doesn't absolutely devastate him. But then she's not going to like hearing that, and then it's going to create just a really unhealthy dynamic. The bottom line is that that man just wants to fix the problem, and he wants to work with you to do that. He wants to be a partner. He doesn't want to tell you to do something that you don't want to do. Trust me, he doesn't want that either.
More guys gotta expose these deadbeat, sexless marriages. When the intimacy's gone, she's not a wife or partner anymore. She's just a damn roommate. That's exactly why smart men should steer clear of signing up for that prison called marriage. No closeness, no bond, just wasted time and zero return. Thanks for watching Manhood. If you want access to exclusive episodes and want to support the channel, hit that join button and become a member. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if it hit home. Drop your stories and thoughts in the comments. We read everyone. See you tomorrow.